I was 17 years old when I had Michael. Even though, I got young early, I knew that I didn't let that allow me to stop getting my education. And I knew that I still was not limited. Yes, I messed up, but what I did is I just got up, dust myself off, and continue moving forward with my son.
Yeah, I think oftentimes people talk about the fact that I didn't have a dad, and that's like the focus of the story. But I think a lot of the success is because my mom was an amazing mother, but she wasn't by herself. She had my grandma, she had my aunt, and the three of them were all my mother. So if I needed something, I could go to any three of them, and things of that sort. So I think that was really a real advantage I had growing up, because a lot of people, especially a lot of single moms, don't have the same support system that my mom had. But we were lucky in that my grandma, my aunt, and my mom all felt it was all their responsibility to make sure myself, my little brother, and my two cousins got through high school, went to college, and were able to achieve some amount of success.
The funny part is, I didn't. I'm not going to say. Yeah, no, it wasn't. No, I was scared to tell my mom. So what I did is I told my sister. Me and her, we went to Denny's, and I told her. I said, "Guess what? I'm pregnant." And I'm like, "How am I going to tell mom?" And we were just talking, and finally I got the courage to tell my mom.
I really don't remember, but I knew that she was going to be in trouble. I'm like, oh my goodness, I don't know what to tell you. Because she was actually 16 when she got pregnant, but she had him when she was 17. So I was like, you in trouble. So I don't know. Only thing I could do is we could just pray and hope that, we just go through this. I mean, you pregnant now, there's nothing else we could do but deal with it.
I just didn't believe it, really. I had no idea. I didn't even know if she had a boyfriend or anything like that, because we were just a church-going family, and it was really a shock. And it was hard for me to accept that, but, I had to still, go ahead and keep everything going in the family as is. And when, like Michael wasn't, he wasn't born yet then, but I mean, I was really sad, though. I really was, to be honest with you. But when he was born, it was different. That's my first grandson. And it just made a difference, even in my life, So when he was born, I was just so elated,
I think it was great. I think from a very early age, not just me, with all my cousins. For example, I have a cousin who's getting her master's at USC right now in communications. Another who's an engineer at Pacific, who's spending 6 months at Toyota as the first UOP student to get an internship with Toyota as a sophomore. And now I'm a little brother. And I think the success I've always been able to enjoy, a lot of it's because of, number one, they stress education. So a lot of the narratives that, your mom had you so young, she didn't go to college. But although she didn't go to college, she made it mandatory that I brought home A's and good grades. It also gave me the support to make sure I did that. My aunt, she was always a big education advocate as well. So she made sure when I got good grades, she would go to Barnes & Noble and buy me just a bunch of books to read all the time. So I'll get A's, I get more books, get A's, get more books. It's this great kind of feedback loop that kind of prioritizes and incentivizes academic achievement. My grandma was the real spiritual stalwart in the family, so she made sure we were grounded in church, and so that a lot of the things that get a lot of young black men especially caught up in Stockton, I was really shielded from, because my grandma from a young age taught me about trying to be as moral as possible, doing the right thing, believing in God. And it always kept me busy. I played basketball year-round. I was at church when I wasn't playing basketball, so there was a lot of structure to life. I wasn't allowed to really, which is a sad commentary on Stockton, which is why we have a lot of work to do, but I wasn't allowed to just go outside and hang out. If I went to play basketball, I would play in the rec league or at basketball practice, but I wasn't allowed to just be outside and wandering for hours. They made sure there were things for me to do and things of that sort. And I think they shared kind of the parenting responsibilities. It wasn't, this is my kids, so only I could discipline them. If I did something disrespectful to my aunt, I'd get a whooping from her like she was my mom and grandma, and vice versa.
Yeah, to the teen moms, I would just like to tell them that don't give up. Life is not over with, You could still make it. Even though you probably made a mistake, you could still do it, that you're not limited. And your child is not limited, and it's up to you to raise your child. And be careful who your child is around at a young age. And make sure you let your child know that he can make it. Yeah, you're without a father. Yeah, you're without some things, but you can still make it.
To make sure you have that support system. Even if it's not family there to support you, at least find a friend, a mentor that you might have, somebody that you can have support to help support you. You get advice.
Number one, I would say you have to have that unconditional type of love. No matter what, if you disagree with what your child has done, you still love them anyway, okay? And you do things that, the right things that you would do. And I personally go by biblical principles, because I want to please God first. And also when it comes to education, I think it's very important that the parents stay involved with their children's school, stay in contact with their teachers, go to the school if necessary, and not necessarily believe a lot of things like what your child is telling you that's happening at school. I mean, you take that into consideration, but you wait and get both sides. You have to see what the teacher is saying also. And then you work together with that school system so that they could be successful.